Welcome to the 30 AI Agents in 30 Days Challenge. The first AI agent is a property management AI answering system that lets me change my information on file automatically. Let's dive straight in. We will call a management agent that is based on this little database here, which contains 2 tenants so far. So it contains the names, the unit they live in, their email, and their phone. So I will first call the agent to demo it to you. You will see how it will change the details here, and then I will walk through how I've built it. So let's call the agent. Let's see what it says.
Hello, this is Next Operations Property Management. You've reached the Lettings Department. My name is Jennifer. How can I help?
Hi, Jennifer. I'd like to change my email contact details on file.
I can help with that. First, could you please provide me with your full name and the unit where you live? I need to verify your information before we proceed.
Definitely. My name is Robert Hangu, and I live at number 13 William Street.
Thanks, Robert. I found your record for Unit 13 William Street. Now, what is the new email address you'd like me to update on file?
The new email address is robert.hangu@gmail.com.
Got it. Just to make sure I have it right, the new email address is robert.hang@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Your email address has been updated to robert.hang@gmail.com. We've got you covered. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's all for today. Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Robert. Have a great day and take care.
And it hung up. Now you can see that the agent has changed my email address here. And this was done automatically via API interaction with Airtable. So now let's jump straight into how I built this. I used Retell to build these information flows. So Retell is a platform that allows you to stitch together different blocks that are states of how the conversation should look like. So in this case, it's a very simple conversation, right? That goes through basically 4 stages where it asks the tenant for their details to identify them inside the database. Then it asks the tenant for the new email that they want to change. Then it updates that information inside the database. Then it ends the call. Each of these steps has a prompt to it. You can download all the prompts and all the Retell file in JSON format if you click in the link in the description below. So here we can see basically for the first state what task it has to do. Imagine that each state has a prompt on its own so that the AI agent knows how it should work in that stage. And I specify the task. It has to collect the tenant's information and verify it. It should jump straight into the conversation. And then I also specify the steps. It's important to note here that the steps are super important. We're going to go over the model choice in a second, but here I'm using GPT 4.1 mini model. And this is a model that is very good at following prompts very specifically. So the more specific I am, the better. So here I tell it to ask for the tenant information, and then I tell it that it has to check them against the information inside the database. Now for this, I have added a tool here that you can do via clicking on add, and then you have various tools to choose from. So what I did, I added a costume function that I specified here. And in this case, I specified the Airtable API that I got from Airtable's documentation. This is the Airtable documentation. So what I did was basically copy this API endpoint that lists all the tenants and paste it into here, right? And then of course, adding the headers, the authorization headers, as you can see here, and so on. This is how I connected Airtable's API here. You can see it's the get tenants endpoint here. So then the LLM knows that it should use this tool to get the details about the tenant. And then of course it saw that it's me in the database, and then it read the information back to me, which I told it explicitly to do here, double check it, right, to identify the tenant. Once that's done, the edge goes from this state to this state, so the transition happens if the details provided by the tenant are the same as those that are specified like they have on file, right? And don't transition otherwise. So then the LLM knows that it will change the state into here, where it will ask me for the new details. Again, the same thing, I specify each step very, very specifically. And then I say, okay, what information do you want to update? So I've already told it in the beginning, I want to update my email. And then basically it asks me for the new email address, reread the information back to me to just double check it's all good, and so on. And once that's done, it has the new transition that will continue if the tenant has said that and confirmed that they want to update this email, and that is the same. So here we make sure that basically the speech recognition part of the pipeline understands my request properly, so that it tells me again exactly what the email is that I wanted to change, so that it's correct once it writes it down. Now, then we go into the state update new tenant details, again, the same logic. And here I have the tool that is called update tenant, which basically is the API endpoint of Airtable that updates this record, right? So again, I did the same thing as I showed you before, and then it knows that it has to call it. And I instruct it to do so specifically to format phone numbers and emails in the proper way, and how to update the data that it's only for this tenant, and so on. And finally, if they don't need any further help, it should transition into the last state, which is called finish call. And in this state, the LLM will call an internal tool made by Retell called end call. What this tool does is it just calls the internal function of Retell to basically end the call. And once all these transitions are set up, there is one master prompt. It's the system prompt that the whole LLM runs on, and that is specified here in the main dashboard of this AI agent. So here I specify the AI agent's identity. I tell it their name, how their character traits should be, and what exactly it should do. And then I also have to set the style guardrails to say, okay, you're not allowed to say certain things, or if the tenant is angry, you have to be professional, and all of these details that I specify here, it will adhere to throughout the conversation. Only this system prompt is not enough, because it might hallucinate, or it might call the wrong tool, or not call it at all. And this is why Retell supports this prompt tree. As you can see here, this was the view that I showed you just now. So basically, coming back to the previous view, I edit the particular states and transitions next to the actual system prompt. As mentioned, I'm sharing the complete JSON file of this AI agent in the link in the description below, so you can download it and have access to all of these prompts and import it directly into Retell. So you don't have to rebuild this whole hierarchy. You just take it and use it right away. So you have an AI agent that runs straight in your Retell dashboard. Now, if we want to test this, we have two ways. We can either test it via audio, which is the same call I had just now on the phone, or we can test it via chat, which is very interesting because it will show us each state transition. I click manual chat here. I can say, okay, it's the same conversation. I say, hi, I'd like to update my email on file. And then it shows me, okay, this is the first state that I'm in. And I say, okay, it asks me what my details are. And I say, this is my name. So these are the details. And now it will show me that it has actually used the transition. So first it gets the tenants, then basically this is what's inside of the database. It saw that, yes, I'm in the database, and then it asked me what's the email address. So it's very easy to see each step of this transition. And then, okay, what's the new email address I'd like? Let's say robertnextops.agency. Okay, and then it confirms it again. And I say yes to double check. Remember, this is what would be actually spoken on the phone by the AI agent. But since I'm testing it here via text, it just outputs the plain text. And yeah, okay, the email is updated. Anything I can help you with? And then if we look back, what happened is it actually changed the email, and we see here the update that just happened into this new email address. And once that's all done, I can come here and click publish, and the agent will go live. For this, I've also configured a phone number that I bought with Twilio that I have connected in the settings. I won't cover this here, but you can go and have a look at the Retell documentation, which is very, very good. You can either purchase a phone number directly from Retell, which is then connected directly to the whole thing, or you can buy one from Twilio, for which Retell also has very good documentation that you can follow here step by step. All super easy, all explained into detail. Just Google connect Twilio number to Retell. As I said, I won't cover this step here. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a video about this. As mentioned, I will share this JSON file of this AI agent so that you can import it directly You can do this very easily here by clicking the import button inside the Retell dashboard, and you can choose the file here, and then you are ready to go with this AI agent that I've built here. You find the link in the description below. And if you like this video, I'm doing a 30 agents in 30-day challenge. Subscribe to my channel so that you get every day a new fresh agent built in one of the state-of-the-art tools like Retell, VoiceFlow, N8N, Zapier, all using the latest up-to-date LLM models from ChatGPT, Anthropic, and all the other players out there. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.